Hi, folks. Join us now for another Brooklyn ball game here at Ebbets Field, brought to you by your favorite Post cereals and their terrific new teammate, Post Sugar Crisp. Yes, sir. Post is right back to bring you the Dodgers again as they take on the Boston Braves in the first of a three-game series here at Ebbets Field, Brooklyn, USA. This is the old redhead, Red Barber, saying hi, hello to you, and Connie Desmond will be along here in a few minutes between the two of us while we'll send you the play-by-play. And your seat right bang behind home plate is reserved thanks to your loyalty to Post cereals and to your all-out cheers for sensational new Post Sugar Crisp. So, with Post as our host, let's see what's going on the docket. Oh, man, it couldn't be a nicer afternoon. Great goodness. This is the one we've been waiting for. This is it. This makes you feel like it's spring and baseball and like there's no more measles and free tickets to the circus. Anyhow, we'll have a repetition of a fine pitching struggle that took place for its first copy up at Boston earlier this year. Joe Hatton, left-hander for the Dodgers, and Vern Bickford, right-hander for the Braves. They met at Boston, and Hatton pitched a two-hit shutout to beat Bickford and the Braves, and thereby Mr. Hatton earned himself the award which comes to fellas who deliver shutouts, the same as those who hit home runs, a case of Post Sugar Crisp. All right, let's go over the batting orders. Oh, the sun shines bright in Kentucky and right here in Brooklyn, too. It's a lovely afternoon. For the Braves, who have not won a game in the two they've played with Brooklyn this year, Jethro is leading off in center field. Sam Jethro. Earl Torgerson is hitting second at first base. Bobby Elliott, the big third baseman, bats third. Sid Gordon, the ex-Giant, a Brooklyn boy who lives no more than a couple of blocks right out back of right field here at Ebbets Field. And he's wreaked a lot of vengeance on the Dodgers. Gordon in left field for the Braves. The umpires are now walking out, three of them. Willard Marshall, another ex-Giant, is in right. Walker Cooper, who was just recently traded, you'll recall, from the Cincinnati Ball Club. Cooper catching. Sisti at second base, S-I-S-T-I, City Sisti. Buddy Carr, who came in that 4-for-2 deal with the Giants. Carr's at short. And Bickford, who hasn't won and lost 3 times, is on the mound. Lifetime, he's beaten the Dodgers 3 times, lost to them once. Batting order for the Braves as the meeting at home plate takes place now between Captain Pee Wee Reese of the Dodgers, the 3 umpires, and Billy Southworth of Boston. Reese is leading off for Brooklyn, playing short, of course. George Schuber is in left field. Duke Snyder in center. Jackie Robinson at second base, hitting fourth. Paul Ferrello, the Reading Rifle, in right, batting fifth. Big Gil Hodges with those meat hooks for hands at first base. Billy Cox at third. Bruce Edwards is catching to give Campanella a little more rest there with that torn muscle in his leg. And the pitcher is Joe Hatton. The umpires, Larry Getz, back at the plate, calling balls and strikes. His 2 associates on the bases will be Lou Jorda, stationed at first, Frank Dascoli at third. That's the original station before you have any base runners. After the base umpires shift, depending and reflecting upon how many men you got on and when you got it. Now, we were just giving you the Brooklyn batting order a moment ago. Talking about the Dodgers, well, you ask them, and they'll tell you that it's good to be champs, but that it's better to stay champs. And because they want to keep that pennant flying right here at Ebbets Field, they're mighty careful about physical conditioning. Ask an expert like Jake Pittler. Old Sugarfoot Jake, the Dodgers' peppery first base coach. What's that involved? And he'll tell you, friend, you'll never get to first base and talk to me in any conditioning program unless you start with the right kind of meal. Jake got a point there for every one of us. Remember, friends, you just aren't eating the right kind of meals unless you start with a proper breakfast. One that includes fruit, bread and butter, beverage, and cereal. And that's what you should have to get a bright start every new day. When you're choosing that cereal for your breakfast, you make that cereal a nourishing Post cereal. So do yourself a favor here. Eat a better breakfast every livelong morning with your favorite Post cereal included. Discussion going on at home plate, going over the ground rules. Whenever you have the first game of a series in a ballpark, and especially if teams have not been in the park in some time, the Braves haven't been here since last year, why then you have to go over the ground rules. For example, the umpires and the two team representatives must be in thorough agreement as to whether a ball is in play at this particular point of real estate, and whether it is out of play there. What about a thrown ball here? What about a pitch ball there? What about a ball that gets up against the bench out there in the bullpen? What about a ball by the exit gate in right center field? What about a ball that may get down in that queer little corner in left field where you have an angle of seats that jut right down? What about this screen here that's 20 feet high on top of this 20-foot concrete wall? Suppose you hit a ball through there. Suppose a ball bounces back to the scoreboard and comes out on the playing field. Those are the things that they discuss. Maybe you've often wondered, what do those guys do when they get up there and talk? Ask each other where to have dinner? No, it isn't that at all. It's just the business of a thorough understanding. And you can never go wrong if you've got a thorough understanding beforehand. Some of the bitter arguments that come up from baseball are on situations that come up that were not canvassed in the pregame discussion and are not covered by the ground rules. And as far as ground rules for each park are concerned, each manager makes out the ground rules for his own park. In other words, it is the job of the Boston Braves to understand what the ground rules are as set up by the Dodgers here at Ebbets Field. When Brooklyn goes to Boston, they then have to understand what are the ground rules that the Braves have undertaken to put in their ballpark. Now, first base umpire Jordan walking down the line toward his sector. Big Frank Descoli. Going down toward third, Billy Southworth, who's his own third base coach, going down there. And in just a second, the Brooklyn club will go out and take the field and will be off. It's always news about anything in Brooklyn, especially the Dodgers. A ball game is always news. I don't think it's news that we've got a fine crowd. Boy, they come here. I mean. However, it is news, and it's wonderful news. This weather. Boy, this is the afternoon before. Now the Dodgers go out to take the field. Brooklyn opening up its first real homestand. Tomorrow is a single game at 2 o'clock. Then Monday night, the Braves here at 9. Then the Western clubs come in, led by the Cardinals, who will be here Tuesday, Wednesday night, and Thursday afternoon. And Thursday will be Ladies' Day. Never a dull day with the Dodgers, and certainly never on Ladies' Day. Pittsburgh is in for a night game Friday next week. Saturday game a week from today. And then next Sunday, May 21, it is Cincinnati, remaining for Monday night, May 22. Then the Cubs, the 23rd, 24th, 25th, and on the 24th, a night game. Now the Star-Spangled Banner. Gladys Gooding has just played its song, the national anthem, which is a custom here at Brooklyn for every ball game that is played, not just special occasions. The Dodgers are afield. in their white home suits trimmed in light blue, which is called Brooklyn blue. Joe Hatton on the mound. Won a game which was a shutout 2-hit affair at Boston at the expense of the Braves. Hatton has been uniformly successful since he got into the league against Boston. He's beaten them 10 times. He got 4 reversals. Bruce Edwards catching. Hatton at first base. Jackie Robinson, now a motion picture star, is at second. By the way, I haven't seen the picture, but my wife got to see it at the premiere, which was held in New York last week while the Dodgers was still out on the road. And she told me what I've heard from so many other people, that it's a very excellent picture and that Robinson is fine. Plays his role extremely well on the plate. Robinson is second. Reese is short. Billy Cox is at third. The rookie, Bobby Morgan, is being rested in the bench a little bit, hoping that'll perk him up. Out in left field is George Schuber. Center fielder is Duke Snyder. Right fielder, Ferrello. Sam Jethro, a switch hitter, has the most hits in the league. 32 of them, hitting the 352 is up. Outfield toward the left. Curveball is inside. Off the Edwards mitt, back to the stand, just ball one. Ball one, no strikes. The outfield is around toward left. The wind is blowing from right to left, off from first base to third. Pretend to happen deals. Fastball swung on, hit down to third. Cox is up with it. The throw is over to first, and Jethro is out for 3 running steps. So Sam Jethro, the lanky speedster, thrown out third to first. 1 up and 1 gone. Just to start a thing. That was the first batter. Naturally, no score. And here is Earl Torgerson. The tall, lanky, almost raw-boned, left-hand hitting first baseman. Wears glasses. Outfield back into right. He pulls. Earl hitting at 289. Pretend to happen pitches. A slow curve over for a call strike. Johnny Cooney, slender veteran, is coaching at first base for the Braves. Billy Southworth pacing along like a restless cat in a new house, coaching at third. Throw. Slow curve, low and away. Left-hand pitcher. Left-hand hitter. 1-1. Not a cloud in the sky. Air is soft. You just sort of see the leaves and the buds just popping right out of the trees. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, a ground ball down to second. Robinson up. Fires for first, and Torgerson's out. 2 up and 2 gone. The Dodgers, if they can win today, and if the Phillies get beat, Wilkins is going to first place. So let's see what this means. If you look at your National League standings, you'll find out that you've got 6 teams that are bunched, all of them within breathing distance of first place, which makes a very tight race. Bob Elliott, big blonde right-hand hitting third baseman who can blast that ball. They play him to full, way around into left field. Also, the wind is blowing into left. Outfield swung drastically that way, the infield back. Elliott hitting 244, swings and misses with a low outside curveball. Like one. Elliott has batted in 19 runs. He leads the ball club in that department. Throw, swung on, fastball, foul tip for 2. Posteriors, mighty happy to be sending you this ball game from Brooklyn. Sending it to you wherever you're listening from coast to coast. No balls, 2 strikes. Elliott dug in, 2 out, nobody on. Pitch, curve into the dirt in front of the plate. Ball 1. Haven't tried to put a little too much on that, snap it off. He's also trying to pitch it low and make Bustin' Bob go after a bad ball. Fine crowd here at Brooklyn. 1-2 pitch, swung on, a line drive, hit through in the left field for a base knock. Elliott on, the ball kept by left fielder Schuler, thrown into second. First second by Robinson, and it's the first hit of the game, the first runner. Now the Brooklyn boys, Sid Gordon. He's up. Right-hand hitter. He's always hit well against Brooklyn. Batting at 262. He leads the Braves in the matter of home runs. He's got 7. Sidney in open stance. Strong, stocky. Slow curve, high outside. Ball 1. Elliott at first. Hutton down, checks the run at first, pitches, curveball just low and inside. Ball 2, 2-0. Hutton reads the sign. Now stops in his pitching move, deals, curve, high outside, ball 3, so goes behind, 3-0. All curveballs to Gordon. Bruce Edwards trying to slow up the pitcher, walked in front of the plate a couple of paces before he would return the agate. Here's a 3-0 pitch. Fastball low, ball 4. Bell was first to in the crowd on simple infield bounces. Single by Elliott is followed by a base on balls to Gordon. And now Willard Marshall gets in. The Braves are threatening with 2 down here in the first inning. No score. Man at first and second. Edwards out to mound. Talking to his battery mate, Joe Hatton. Marshall is a left-hand batter, hitting .261. They play him to pull. The outfield shifting back now into right. Outfield has been almost like it was on a shuttle train here in the first inning, the way they've been switching back and forth. Various extremes on these hitters. Marshall swinging from the end. Elliott leading down off second. Gordon off first. Right side of the infield back. Left side up the step. The pitch is fastball for a called strike. That one above the knees on the inside. Larry gets the ball and strike indicator. Jorda is now on the first base side of second. On the runners at first and second, Dascola remains on the line behind third. The secret of umpiring, of course, is to have the proper angle. Nothing in one pitch. Curveball swung on and popped up. Shortstop Reese is under, waiting. And he loses it to turn the ball drop, and Elliott scores. The runners remain at first and second. Pee-wee is in his 11th year, and I have never seen him lose one before, but he lost it. He has no sunglasses. He usually wears them. I told you a few moments ago there is not a cloud in the sky, and Reese, one of the most capable of players, in fact, Bert Shotton says that he's so good he calls him his ringer, meaning that he's really too good for the professionals. Pee-wee lost the pop fly and it dropped 2 feet behind him. Pee-wee standing there, sort of wiping the tears out of his eyes, and they are tears of complete frustration, too, as well as looking into that scar. So Pee-wee, the ball has to be scored as a base hit, of course. Ball wasn't touched. We have no infield fly rule, you know, with 2 outs. So Elliott, who was running, scores, and there is a sun single of a simple pop fly directly at short. Not too hard. But Reese just lost it. When you lost it, you lost it. And Big Walker Cooper making his first at-bat now for the Braves. He's going to catch today. Hatton throws, curveball low inside. Well, that was a tough break for Joe. It was a good break for Marshall, giving him a base hit and run batted in. Gordon stops at second base. Elliott, of course, running with 2 outs, scored. 1-0 Boston. Well, there's never a dull day at Brooklyn. You see it all with the Dodgers. Cooper swinging from the end. Hits to Cincinnati at 191. 9 hits for 47 at bat. Swings and hits a ground ball down to short. Reese is up, throws to second, in time for the 4th play. So the Braves in reality had 4 outs and got a run home. Cooper hitting into a force out at second base. Reese to Robinson. 1 run, 2 hits, and the bright sky and the sun intervened in that one. Well, friends, I want to tell you about a marvelous new cereal that has everything. It's Post Sugar Crisp, the newest member of the family of famous Post cereals. Delicious puffed wheat coated with just the right combination of sugar and honey. When Old Red says it's got everything, he means just that. It's delicious for breakfast with milk or cream and no sugar needed. It's wonderful for between meal snacks. Or you can just eat it right out of the bag like candy. Now think of it. Wherever your fun takes you, for a drive to the beach or out to the ball game, that handy package of Post Sugar Crisp can just go right along with you. So get yourself a bag of Sugar Crisp and try it. Hey, on second thought, you better make that several bags. Look for it in the big red and white blue cellophane bag at your grocer's this sunshiny Saturday afternoon. Now that's Post Sugar Crisp. A cereal that's just plain fun to eat. Now to move along the last of the first inning, Reese coming up. Well, all things happen to you if you stay up there long enough. I never saw Pee Wee lose one before in the sun, but he lost that one. I noticed that the Boston infielders, especially shortstop Carr, very busy putting up their gloves and then peering out from behind them to check the sky. Vern Bickford on the mound, 1-0 favor the Braves, and Reese up hitting .256. A call strike. The fastball off the hands over the inside. Reese, 20 hits. Right-hander deals. Curveball. Someone hits top of the short. Carr's up with it. He throws over the first and Pee Wee's up. Carr at short to Torgerson in the first second. 1 up, 1 away. George Schuber hitting at .224. Stepping in. He has been hitting with a great deal of power. Left-hand batter. So far, he's gotten a nod in left field whenever the opposition has started a right-hander. This is the case with Bickford, who pitches. Curve low inside. Ball one. For the Braves, it is Bickford on the mound, and Walker Cooper is making his first appearance back of the bat. Cooper returned to Billy Southworth. They used to be together at St. Louis. Fastball low. Ball two. Infield has Earl Torgerson at first. City Sisters at second base. Looks like he'll play there with Connie Ryan, traded for Cooper, gone to Cincinnati. Bickford wastes little time, pitches 2-0. Low inside with a fastball for ball three. Buddy Carr, the ex-Giant, is at short, and the third base, Bob Elliott. Sid Gordon in left. Center fielder is Sam Jethro. Right fielder Willard Marshall. Outfielder well around toward right. Right side of the infield deep. 3-0 pitch is ball four. Shooter walk. Fastball dismissing no outside. First Dodger then to get on. Shooter with a walk. And that makes the potential tying run at first. Snyder hitting at .294. Post cereals and post nearest Sugar Crisp keeping you posted on the ball game. 1-0 favor the Braves. Snyder takes a slow curve low inside at the shins. Ball one. Bickford always gives the Dodgers a very stern argument. Always has. Stops. Deals. Slow curve too low. Ball two. 2-0. Two balls and strikes. One gone. Schuber leading off first, and Torgerson holding the corner carefully against him. Jake Fittler coaching at first base for Brooklyn. Milton Stark is coaching at third. And the sun is shining brightly. It's a tough sky up above. Curve low inside to Snyder for ball three. Bickford's gotten himself in a jam now, 3-0. All slow curves to Duke. Tall, willowy. Very strong through the shoulders and chest. Left-hand hitter. .3-0 pitch. Fastball high outside for ball four. There's one man out. Bickford walks the next two. There's a fellow who won the batting championship last year and was voted the league's most valuable player, Jackie Robinson. There's nobody now who is being as written up or is as well known as is this fellow. Just starred in a motion picture. Jackie Robinson's story. You'll like it. Robbing, hitting at .329, leading the Dodgers in hitting as you'd expect. Outfield around toward left, the infield up 1 or 2 steps in double play depth. Pitch is fastball in to hit. Strike sends it back out of the way, ball one. We're going to have some action now in the Boston bullpen down in the left field corner. Bickford in position, deals. Curve high outside for ball two. He's walked two and is behind 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Sister, the second baseman, has come over to the mound. Taking a little time right now, trying to slow Bickford down. Change his mind. Boston bullpen has gone to work. Right in the left-hander. Now the familiar chant at Everett Field. We want a hit. Robinson leaning up there. The count's 2-0. The pitch is the curve outside for ball 3. 2 balls, no strike. Jack, in addition to being a fine hitter, has a very fine pair of eyes. Three nothing pitch. Call strike. The left-hander for the Braves is the bonus player Johnny Antonelli. The right-hander is Norman Roy. Left and right-hander working for the Braves. Robinson has the instructions through Milton Stark to how manager Bert Shotton. Once his 3-1 pitch confronted. Here it is. The runners go, and it is a curve outside for ball 4. Cuba, not knowing whether the pitch would be a strike or not, slid into third, but there was no throw. Ball 4 at the plate. The Yankees are now FOB. They are full of looking. 3 bases on balls, and Texas Cooper goes out to talk to Bickford. And the batter up is Carl Corello. He's hitting at 275. Well, don't go away. We got a big minute here at Brooklyn. And folks, the post-serial people from Battle Creek are very happy to send you this one. Broadcast, you know, in New York, as it always is, over at WMGM, and on Saturdays from at home at Brooklyn, over the Columbia Broadcasting System. So, got lots of ears right back, and we're glad to have you. We got plenty of room. All right, Bickford's in a jam. He's about to jump right over in the pickleback. He's not careful. Rollo up, 3 all, 1 out, 1-0 Boston. The pitch, the curve, good for a called strike. Bickford's been staying with that curveball. Cooper's been calling for one right after the other. This is Walker Cooper, pitching for the Braves, pitching for his 4th team in the league. He was the catcher, you know, for Billy Southworth when those Cardinals were winning those pennants under Little Billy. Runners take their leads. The pitch is swung on. Thrown in the left field corner. Foul. Johnny Antonelli warming up. The left-handed pitcher caught the ball. Throws it out. Throws it caught it way back in. Foul around the bullpen. Joe Ferrello hit a whistling foul ball, and it's allowed strike. No balls, 2 strikes. 1-0 favor the Braves. Schubert at third. Snyder at second. Robinson at first. 3 walks in a row by Bickford. Pitch is a curve just outside. Last third. 1 ball, 2 strikes. See, that takes a wonderful set of reflexes to stand at the plate, take a curve ball just on the outside, especially with 2 strikes on you. That's the mark of the finished major league player, that you're not unduly trigger happy. I want to see what Bickford does. He's actually trying to cross up the hitter. He deals. It's ball strike 3, fastball, just from the outside. And Ferrello turns and slowly walks away. So they tricked him. They gave him the curve just outside. And then McCall, I guess, looking for another curve. They snuck the fastball over. And more than that, it wasn't a completely fastball. It was a 3/4 speed fastball, just a change. A little off of it, with a highly artistic pitch, and quite successful. That's the first strikeout. So now here we are, down to cases. Big Hodges with 2 down and 3 off. Last of the first inning. Outfield around toward left. 1-0 favor the Braves because of the sun. Reese with 2 down, lost a little pop fly at shortstop. Never touched it. The ball's up, foot behind him. The run came out. Pitch. Sharp curve low outside for ball 1. Bickford trying to work out of this. Southworth has not come out of the dugout at all. Just let the battery go. Very experienced catcher back at the plate. Walker Cooper. 3 runners, ready to go, 2 out. There's a ground ball back over now, slowly towards second base, and the throw is over to first base in time, and Hodges is out. Nice play by Sister. The ball bounced over the mound as Hodges tried to check his swing. Sister cut right in, was the second base, right in front of the bag, and threw off balance across his body. Without having any time to wait. He couldn't. So Bickford pitches out of a jam. and he walks through the hot water and doesn't get scalded. No runs and no hits, and 3 men were left. So at the end of the first inning, it is a run, 2 hits, and no errors for the Braves, no runs, no hits, and no errors for the... Here we go again. Another player around the National League at the end of 3.5 innings with Kozlov left-handing him for the Giants at Philadelphia, and Kurt Simmons also southpaw going for the Phillies. It is 1-0 in favor of the Giants. The Phillies right now in first place by a game over Brooklyn. Chambers, a left-hander, will start for the Pirates of Chicago, and Hiller, a right-hander, will go for the Cubs. See, those Cubs have been doing all right, haven't they? Cincinnati's at St. Louis tonight. In the American League, Hooks Wise for the Athletics at the stadium against Vic Raschi. That's just about to begin. Washington at Boston. Hudson for Washington. Stobbs for Boston, and it's 2-0 favor of the Red Sox end of the first inning. No score between the White Sox and the Indians. End of the first inning. Kane for Chicago, Feller for Cleveland. Nothing yet on St. Louis at Detroit. And here we go into the second inning with Sisti first up. Second baseman who just made the nice play closing the first inning. Right-hand hitter, and Hatton curves in low inside for ball 1. Sisti is 0 for 6 this year. Outfield toward left, right-hand batter. Fastball is over, ball strike. Sibby, the last couple of years, was probably Southwest's most dependable pinch hitter outside Boston. Hatton pumps, deals, curve, bunted, foul. Sisti working, of course, for a base hit. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-0 favor the Braves. Osorio sending it all your way, and a little bit later on we'll tell you how you can get the 1950 Dodger yearbook. Keep the ears open here. Throw, high, very high. 2-2. Hatton ready to pitch 2-2, does fastball, strike 3, and Sisti has not had a hit in 7 official at-bats this year. So Hatton cost him, fastball, call, strike 3. Carr, right-hand batter, hitting 175. Choke that stick a little bit. Outfield back in the right, not playing into full. Hatton throws, ball strike, fastball on the outside. Carr has an open stance. Spreads his feet. Wind blowing into the left field corner from right. Curveball hit foul, 1 around, outside third. 0-2. Carr's done a good job at short for the Braves. Talking with Billy Southwest before the ball game this afternoon, and he said that he was very pleased with the deals that he had made. One in which he sent Stanky and Dog to the Giants, Carr, Gordon, and Marshall. Curveball low outside, ball 1, 1-2. And then the recent deal in which he gave up Connie Ryan, an infielder, to get Walker Cooper, the big veteran catcher from Cincinnati. 1-2 pitch. Curveball just missing. High outside, and she's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Don Newcomb is sitting down on the bench in the bullpen for the Dodgers. Says his arm feels a great deal better. 2-2 pitch. Fastball swung on. There's a high fly ball out of the deep center. Snyder is back. Sunglasses down. He's under it. He has it. Put up the center guard. 2 up, 2 away in the second inning. And the pitcher, Vern Bickford, who has 1 hit for 11 tries, pitched in. Right-hand batter. Outfield back into right, and not playing him to get around on the ball. pitch swung on fastball. Really fast. Hadn't turned out on the loose. The ball's on strike. Boston won. Up to no here in the second inning. Joe throws a curve, swung on a miss. Breaking down toward the kneecap. Strike two. Hatton deals, curveball in there. And Bickford knew it and turns to give it the ball and kept Edwards and hands it to him. Ball strike three. So the Braves went down 1-2-3 in the second inning. Take the field leading 1-0. Well, look here, fans. Here's a breakfast combination that's just as smooth as $1 million infield. Post, raisin bran. Crackling, fresh, tasty bran flakes plus tender, seedless California raisins. Yes, ma'am. That's Post Raisin Bran for you. A fruit and a cereal combination that's just double delicious. The flakes give flavor to the raisins, and the raisins give flavor to the flakes. And like all Post cereals, Raisin Bran is guaranteed fresh. So try Post Raisin Bran some morning real soon. You'll see why it's Post for flavor, Post for freshness, Post for the most of everything good in cereals. Now, before we get along into the second inning, let's pause briefly, 20 seconds worth, for station identification. The first pitch last the second inning to Billy Cox is a curve right over. Vern Bickford returns and Cox powders it. It's a high foul ball out of play, and the left field stands for strike two. Bickford pitches like he was in a hurry to get out and go someplace. He didn't waste any time at all. He always does pitch the ball. Cox is 0 for 4. He played the night game at Cincinnati. Last in Brooklyn played before this one. This is his only game playing third base. Schroeder William is outside for ball one. Fastball to get wasted down there, trying to make him chase it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Curve go outside. Ball 2, 2-2. Cox is a bat that is stained a dark brown. The throw is a curve strike three. That's 2 strikeouts apiece. One out, last of the second. 1-0 Boston. Bruce Edwards, stocky, acrobatically strong catcher, hitting 167, 5 for 30. Fastball low outside, ball 1. Boy, that Bickford got himself out of about all the tough big fella could get out of in the first inning. When with 1 gone, he walked Schubert, Snyder, and Robinson, 3 straight. Then struck out Perello. He really pitched to him and got Hodges on the top of the second. Pitch is swung on a high fly ball into right field. The wind's holding it up. Marshall's underneath it. The right field is set and makes the grab. So for Edwards, 2 up, 2 gone, and pitch it happened. Now walks up the bat. He has 1 hit for 7 at bats. This is Joe. He's a fair hitter. One thing he does well is bunt and beat them out. So see what third baseman Elliott did. And to step up inside the bag. Torgerson's also up close at first. Cooper down, give him the sign. Top fly, base 50 goes over and makes the catch. Patton is trying to check his swing with a high inside pitch. Put out to the second baseman. Having a cross last the second inning. At the end of 2 innings, a run, 2 hits, no errors for the Braves. No runs, no hits, no errors. We're very glad you came along to be with us on the broadcast. With the best wishes of Post Cereals. As you know, on the at-home Saturdays, The Post folks are very happy to keep you posted on the doings of the Dodgers. And we'd like to sort of keep in touch for future Saturdays. Well, the very next one on May 20th, Pittsburgh will be here. Have the ears right back for that one. Then the Cardinals will be here at Brooklyn on June the 17th. Pittsburgh again on June 24th. Philadelphia. Oh, there's a hot one. On July the 8th. Chicago on July 29th. Cincinnati on August 5. These are all Saturdays, home Saturdays at Brooklyn. The Braves back again on August 19. The Giants on September 2. St. Louis again on September 16. And Philadelphia on September 30. It'd be funny if they're fighting for the pennant on September 30. Wouldn't be a surprise, would it to you? Now, Sam Jethro, first up in the third. Outfield, round toward left. Sam, a switch hitter, batting right-handed, takes the third, go inside. Jethro, the most hits of any player in the league, batting at .348. He's got 32 good ones. Down the ball game, being thrown out third to first. Pretty well back to the plate. Swings at a high pop fly, going in the short left center. Let's see. Center fielder Snyder is in. Dashes down. He had let it go for Jethro. One up and one away. Beginning the third inning. 1-0 in favor of the Braves. End of 2 innings, the Red Sox are leading Washington in the American League 2-0. End of 2 innings, the White Sox leading the Cleveland Indians 1-0. Earl Torgerson is the batter. Hitting .286, right up to here, left-hand hitter. Fastball into the knees, ball wide. The Phillies have just come up with 4 runs in the 4th inning to go ahead of the New York Giants, 4-1 at the end of 4. Now you're up to date on the postal scoreboard. Patton throws to Torgy, a curve, which is flying sharply out in center field for a base hit. Bill Torgerson goes right around first base, makes his turn, that holds up. Snyder cut the ball off, slipped to his knees, but recovered and threw in to Reese, who relayed on to Robinson first. So it's a line single drilled in the center field by Earl Torgerson. A little conference out at the mound between catcher Edwards and pitcher Hatton. Elliott hit a solid single into left field for the first hit of the game, the first inning. Moved to second as Gordon was walked and scored as Reese in the sun lost a simple pop fly to short. Simple? Well, not simple today with a sky like that. Curveball is go outside. Ball 1. For those of you all around the country listening to this post-serial broadcast that may not have heard the first inning, don't want you to misjudge Pee Wee harshly. That's the only pop fly I've ever seen him lose in 11 years. Only one. Throw. Kerr swung on here off the end of the bat up toward first base. Hodges picks it up and puts the tag on Elliott for the out. Naturally, Torgerson, with no play made on him, moves down to second base. Plug on. Elliott retired, first baseman, unassisted. Sid Gordon. Taking a 2.62. Took those 4 curves and then took his base. Pass, first inning. He's a dangerous hitter. He's always hit well against Brooklyn, always well in this ballpark. Swings on a curve and bounces the ball deep on the left center field. It is in there for a big home run. Like I said, that took some time. Hit it to the left center field, section 32. It's 3-0 in favor of the Braves. Here's Gordon running between second and third. There he comes, on his way up to the plate. Manager Southwood shakes him by the hand. And it's a case of post to the trip to the Sid Gordon household. Yes, sir. That's the award, you know, for home runs and shutouts. Some award, too. That's home run number 8 for Sid. Gives him a total of runs batted in 17. He drilled it. He's top man now in the National League and tied with Ted Williams of the majors for the most homers, 8. Here's Willard Marshall swinging and missing at a high curveball. It's no longer a 1-0 ball game. She is 3-0 in favor of the Braves. Sidney boomed one. Patton comes back. Curveball, high outside. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. That ball was well hit. When she got up high, you could see it hooking. Boy, that one was about from Connie Desmond's tee shot. Get in here to tell you about him in a minute. There's a ground ball off the pitcher's glove, happening to 3, and tags Marshall out. That's out number 3. The ball counted off the pitcher's glove over toward first. Happening retrieving the ball was right up against the runner when he came up with it. So 2 runs on 2 hits. Solid hits, too. Big home run by Sid Gordon. Well, speaking about Desmond, I don't know whether he's going to talk about his golf drives or his house out in Flower Hill, Long Island, or about what a nice day it is or anything, but Connie, have you got a word for us?
Oh, I sure have, Red. I got the word on that swell new cereal, Sugar Crisp. Man, it's so delicious, folks eat it right around the clock. Yes, sir, Post Sugar Crisp is such fun to eat. It makes a hit with the whole family. For breakfast, you just pour on the milk or cream. Remember, you can skip the sugar, because Sugar Crisp is just sweet enough. Sugar Crisp, you see, is wholesome puffed wheat coated with honey and sugar. And that makes it a tasty snack any time of day. And you can eat it right out of the bag. It's just the kind of nibbling the whole family will go for. So remember, as a cereal, it's dandy. For snacks, it's so handy. Or eat it like candy. Look for Post Sugar Crisp at your grocery store. And a big cellophane bag with the 3 little Sugar Crisp bears on the outside. Okay, Red?
All right, Cornelius. Hey, what were you talking about, Connie?
Sugar Crisp.
Sugar Crisp. So here's Reese, first up against Bickford. Last of the 3rd. Right-hand hitter. Vern deals. Fastball over for a called strike. Huey hitting at 253. Takes a pitch outside. It's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. She's 3-0 in favor of the big, bold Braves of Boston. Huey swings. There's a high fly ball hit down the left field corner. Gordon, the left fielder, goes over and makes the catch. Huey retired. So it just made the catch is the guy that hit the 2-run home run just now, Sid Gordon. The Braves actually have put together, with the exception of Johnny Mize, the batting order that for the Giants 3 years ago used to make all those home runs. They got Big Cooper back to the plate, Marshall out there in right field, Gordon out in left. There's George Schubert to play for Brooklyn. Swings at the ground ball down to the right side. The second baseman handles it over to first, and that's all for Schubert. 2 up, 2 gone. And, of course, for the Braves, in this big Elliott, they've got a fellow who can hit their ball a long way. Sam Jethro out in center field doesn't come up with so many long hits. That is, as far as home runs go, although he has 3 triples. But he comes up with a lot of hits. Snyder up the Brooklyn, left-hand batter. Takes a high inside fastball. All right. Duke was walked in the first inning. He's pre-game off at 294, still riding. The wind is toward left field. Duke swinging, fouls it into the third base stand. 1-1. While the wind was blowing the way that Gordon hit his home run, he didn't need the wind. His was belted. Bickford deals. Snyder swinging. High fly ball out into deep left center. Left fielder Gordon under it. Makes the catch for out number 3. In the 3 innings, let's check our totals, Connie, before you grab the tiller here. Speak in nautical terms, because I know that all your life you just like to get out and sail those little things around. At the end of 3 innings, it's 3 runs, 4 hits, and no errors for the Braves. Do you concur, sir?
Right, sir.
Yes, sir. For the Dodgers? Gee, I don't see anything at all, do you?
Nothing on my book.
No runs, no hits, no... Well, Connie, I would ask you a personal question. I want an honest answer. Have you ever seen a nicer day?
Oh, this is wonderful. Now we can only shoot golf.
Boy, you and I are lucky we got a job. Go ahead.
We got it. Robinson, Furillo, and Hodges, of course, will come up if you're looking ahead on that part of the list. because the Dodgers got to start making some runs. Their pitching has been sort of wobbly, and that Western trip was a cruel one as far as they're concerned. But right now, at the present moment, Mr. Hatton must contend with Big Walker Cooper, Sibby Sisti, and Buddy Kerr. The outfield plays this big fellow around to the left. Cooper batting at 188, 9 base hits, yet to hit his first home run. Maybe I better be quiet. 3-0 in favor of Boston here, top half of the 4th inning. Hatton's first pitch swung on, and there's a high fly ball that is hooking foul and going back into the stand. Schuba was over, right up against the barrier there to watch it sail in, and it's a long, loud strike. Boston out in front, 3-0. Top half of the 4th inning. Cooper the first time up. The ground ball down to Reese. Big, strong right-hand batter. Hatton shows him another one. This one flying to left center field. Snyder comes in under it and takes it to the out. Ball was solidly whacked. Snyder playing in position there in left center field. Hauled it down. So there's one away in the top half of the 4th inning. And brings up Sibby Sisti. Sisti made a very fine play to get Bickford out of a trap there in the first inning. Hodges checking his swing, and the ball hit over the mound, and Sisti scooped the ball up and got Big Gill for the 3rd out. Swings on this one, with the fly ball to right field. Here comes Perillo in under it now. A shade over towards the line, takes it to the out. It's 2 up, 2 down. Bobby Feller has just hit a home run for Cleveland the last half of the 3rd inning. The inning is not complete. Chicago is leading 1-0 as Cleveland came to bat in the last half of the 3rd inning. Here's Buddy Kerr. Hitting at 173. The Braves out in front, 3-0 here. Hatton's first pitch swung on and hit wide of third and through. Top his stab, but couldn't quite get to it. A step away. Schuba retrieves out in left field and gets it back into Robinson at second base. So Buddy Kerr, a bouncing single, just out of Billy Cox's reach. Huey got to back up the play, but it got to him. It made any difference. So Kerr on at first base, and we're waiting now the arrival of Vern Bickford, who's coming up towards home plate. He had a sort of a spasm of control trouble. Walked 3 men back-to-back in the first inning and then got out of it, striking out Perillo and getting Hodges and a bouncer to second base. 3-0 Boston. Hatton's first pitch swung on and bounced down along the third baseline. Cox has it, goes to first base in time, and that is all for the Bostons. 5-3 if you're putting him down in your book. No runs, 1 hit, single by Kerr in the left field. Right now, friends, once again, here's the old red hitter.
Well, we told you a little earlier, we're going to tell you how to get the 1950 Dodger yearbook. Boy, this one is a Dillard, first base to last. In fact, I'll tell you confidentially, it's a double-jointed, stomp-down Dillard. It's an exciting, colorful baseball book that Post Serials is offering you baseball fans all over the country from coast to coast. It's jam-packed with all the essential facts and figures about every player on the roster. Pictures, too, plenty of them. And complete information about the entire Dodger organization. Now, friends, your copy of the Dodger yearbook is waiting for you. Just send a box top from any Post Serial package, or else the front panel of a Sugar Crisp bag with a quarter, don't forget that 2-bit piece, to Dodger Yearbook, Box 79, Brooklyn 1, New York. Now send for it right away. It's the same book that sells at Ebbets Field for 50 cents. But you can get yours for 25 cents, plus a Post Serial box top or the front panel of a Sugar Crisp bag. Just write to Dodger Yearbook, Box 79, Brooklyn 1, New York. And be sure to include your own name and address. Now that's Dodger Yearbook, Box 79, Brooklyn 1, New York. Okay, Brother Desmond.
Got it, Red. Robinson takes the first pitch outside, a curveball for ball 1. Bickford comes right back to him again, high fastball. Jack walked in the first inning. He got the 3rd walk in a row there. Bickford is dealing out. He's hitting at 329. 23 base hits. Outfield drastically around into left field. Big, strong right-hand batter up there can pull. Robinson waggling that stick back and forth. Bickford spins, comes down. His pitch swung on. A bouncing ball hit the second. 50 bobbles the ball. Picked it up. Close to first. In time. Jack loses his cap down along the first baseline. Ball was wrapped quite solidly out there, and Sisti, after knocking it down, picked it up, made a complete turn, and threw to first base for the out. Sisti getting a chance to play now that Connie Ryan was dealt to Cincinnati for Big Cooper. Carl Ferrillo took call strike 3 first time up. Takes a curve, lifts it high out toward right field. Under it is Marshall, and takes it for the out. Carl was telling us before game, Red and I are down around the batting cage, that he only hit one ball solidly on the entire Western trip. And that one he hit foul. He did have a little trouble. His average was sliding down a bit. So Big Hodges, who had a chance to get the Dodgers well there in the first inning and grounded out to Sisti, who turned in a nice play on him, is up. 2 out, nobody on. A curve busts in there for a call strike. Hodges batting at 306. 22 base hits. Outfield is shade around in the left, and they're backed up, you can bet. Infield deep, too. Now the strike 1 pitch. That one way outside. A big hook that got off Cooper's mitt. Ball 1, strike 1. Bickford picking off his side from the veteran receiver. Now the 1-1 pitch inside. Ball 2. These are anxious days around ball clubs, you know. The cutting down date on May the 18th, and some of the boys wondering where they're going to go. Ball 2, strike 1. Hodges up 2 out, nobody on. Last half of the 4th inning, Braves lead 3-0. Both serials very happy to be sending it all your way. Bickford lets up on a curveball, and Hodges goes after it. Misses, strike 2. So the deuce is up. 2-2 the count, 2 out, nobody on. Last half of inning 4, 3-0, Boston. Bickford comes in with a hook, swung on, nubbed off the end of the bat, wide at first. Get away from him, and Hodges is on at first base, and it is scored as a base hit. Well, Gill, who hasn't been getting the ball too well lately, he'd taken it. He hit that ball right off the end of his stick, and you can see it just sort of spinning, like you would, take a masse shot, we'll say. Base hit. Oh, Gill on at first base, and that is the first hit off Bickford. Billy Cox up. Struck out. First time. He's 0 for 5 since he got back in the lineup. Hodges at first. 2 out. Curveball. Misses outside. Ball 1. Bickford is sneaky fast. He's got a good fastball, although he doesn't rely too much on that. He likes to fool around with those half-speed hooks. Throws to spot. Pitch, half-tap, swung on, and hit down to second base. 50 up with it, throws to first for the out. And Mr. Bickford must have some tantalizing stuff out there. That's about the third Dodger hitter that is rather undecided whether or not to go for the pitch or not. And checking his swing, the ball went out to second base, and Sisti made the play. No runs, 1 hit. 1 man left on, and just like that, here's Red back again with our post-serial scoreboard.
At the end of 5 innings, behind Simmons, Philadelphia is out in front of the Giants 4-1. 4 runs in the 4th inning. Kozlov didn't come back for the 5th. Saul Magley took over then. And in that 4th inning, Dick Sisler, who is just as hot as a 79-cent pistol, hit a home run, his 5th of the year with 1 on. Pittsburgh has just made 2 runs in the 2nd inning. Go ahead 2-0 over the Chicago Cubs of Chicago. Since Thursday, St. Louis tonight. Now in the American League, Washington's at Boston, and the Red Sox are leading 2-0 at the end of 4.5 innings, with Staubs pitching for Boston, Hudson for Washington. It is a 2-1 ball game. The White Sox over the Cleveland Indians. Kane for Cleveland, Bobby Feller pitching for Cleveland. And as Connie just told you, Feller hit a home run in the third inning for Cleveland's only tally. Wise will start for the Athletics at the Polo Grounds against Vic Raschi. At the, Polo Ground, at Yankee Stadium. And at Yankee Stadium today, one of the great men all time in baseball, Ed Barra, is being honored. This is the day in honor of Ed Barra. Connie?
All right, Sam Jethro leading off. He's the Boston lightning bolt. Boy, can he run. Switch hitter batting right-handed against this lefty Joe Hatton. The first pitch dealt outside and low for ball 1. Jethro playing at Montreal last year stole 89 bases. Swing down this one. It's a high fly ball deep back in the left center. This one may be gone, and it is. This one way back in there. Jethro tagged that one high and far for his 7th home run. And he touches the ball. He leads the league, in the number of base hits. That is his 33rd. And he brings home his 23rd run. So he's topped in that department. So Jethro really got a hold of one of Hatton's curveballs and straightened it out. Back in section 32, which is at left center field, and it is now a 4-0 ball game. Earl Specs Torgerson stepping up, batting at 295. Steps away from a sidearm curveball. Ball 1. So the Dodgers got a lot of work to do. Hatton, who threw 3 home run balls at Chicago, has tossed 2 today. 1 to Gordon, and now this one to Jethro. Sweeping curveball outside. Bankhead continues to toil down in the bullpen for Brooklyn. Dodgers have the tail end of their hitting list coming up in the last half of this 5th inning. Hatton's overhand fastball gets over for a strike. Ball 2, strike 1. Dodgers down 4-0. Top half of the 5th inning. Post Serial, very happy to be sending it all your way, wherever you may be around the country. 2-1 pitch up high. Ball 2. Ball 3, beg your pardon. Ball 3, strike 1. Torgerson has 23 base hits, moving along quite solidly. Hatton throws 3-1, and this is inside, up tight for ball 4. So after the home run, Hatton deals up a walk. He walked Gordon in the 1st inning, and then, as Red told you, that little pop fly hit out the shortstop that Reese lost in this tough sky. That's why Boston got their 1st run. A home run by Gordon after a single by Torgerson got him 2 more, and Jethro opened up this frame with a home run. Buston Bob Elliott up, 1 for 2 this afternoon. Torgerson jumps down on first base. Here's a pitch to Bob. One on him, right back. Right Mr. Hatton's whiskers and into center field, and Torgerson easily cruises around to third base. Boy, that was a solid wrap. Right back to Hatton. Out into center field. So for Elliott, that's his 2nd hit. Edwards goes to the mound. Captain Reese comes in from shortstop. Bankhead continues to toil down in the bullpen, and here is Mr. Gordon again. So, friends, Hatton is going to get the derrick. And now Dan Bankhead, after throwing down a fast blazer out there, starts walking in towards the mound. 4-0 score, top half of the 5th inning. Bankhead, as we told you before while he was tuning up, came up with a little arm trouble. It was more in his back. And he's back on the firing line now. Dan came up with a sparkling relief job at the Polo Grounds when big Don Newcomb started a ball game and only won a couple. Well, Dan took up the torch, went on to win the ball game, and that kind of cemented him around the plate. Then as he pitched good ball out from the west, then the sore back, and Schottness had to put him on the shelf for a while. But here he is, and it's going to be a rather interesting experience to see how he's going to come along. This is a power-packed Boston lineup, and they can really swing that wood. Here's one of them up there right now. Sid Gordon with a home run his last time up. Bankhead looking the situation over now as he's back to the plate. The outfield is deep, you betcha they are, with Gordon up there swinging that mace. They're around into left field. Carl Erskine starts walking down to the bullpen. Bankhead had a fine year last year at Montreal. He won 20 ball games and lost 6. He's rather a willowy fellow with a very good move. Oh, he shows you a lot of motion out there, and that ball comes whisking out of nowhere. Really good kick, too. Spins, comes down the curveball to Gordon on the corner for a strike. 4-0 score in favor of the Braves from Beantown. Bankhead now to his stop position. Runners on at first and third. Spins, comes in with a curveball, and is over again. 2. Gordon comes back. He isn't beefing on it. He's just back talking to Larry Getz about, boy, wasn't that a beauty. Strike 2. Erskine is now up and showing down in the Dodger bullpen. Billy Southworth hoping for a little more business, coaching down here at third base. Johnny Cooning is over at first today. He alternates with Jimmy Brown, former Cardinal captain. Bankhead ready to deliver the strike 2 pitch now. Down she comes to Gordon, and he takes a half chop at it, and the ball hits the stick and goes right into the Dodger dugout. Actually, I know my geography here. Practically went right down that ramp in the center. Del Ennis has just hit a home run in the 6th inning with 1 on, his 4th of the year. But we know that Philadelphia leads the Giants at least 6-1. The inning is not complete, and that was the last half of the 6th. Bankhead set to work again. Comes down, the big curve, swung on, and cracks foul way back in the left field seat. Gordon swung out ahead of that a little bit too much and pulled it foul. The Braves leading 4-0. Top half of the 5th inning. Snyder's really going steady with that left center field fence out there on Gordon. He's way around him. Be up in the stands 2 more steps back. Bankhead working on a tough hitter, Sid Gordon. Now the pitch, fastball. Well, Bankhead really let him have it. He Sunday pitched on Saturday afternoon and got him swinging. 1 out. And brings up Willard Marshall. Marshall hitting at .267. Bankhead trying to help the Brooklyns here get out of this bad spot. 1 run already in. Runners on at first and at third. 1 out. Marshall up. Left-hand hitter takes a curve that is low for ball 1. Willard has 24 base hits, a couple of home runs, and he's 1 for 2 this afternoon. Single his first time up, but that was that little pop fly that Reese lost in the sun. Bankhead comes in with his pitch, outside, ball 2. Dan is pitching away from Marshall, hoping to cut down his power to pull the ball. Although the defensive setup for Brooklyn in the outfield is around towards the right field line. Willard pulls about everything he gets his stick on. Big and strong. Now the 2-0 pitch, swung on and cut foul. Back up over the Braves wigwam and back into the stand. Ball 2, strike 1. Top half of the 5th inning. 4-0 Boston. Say, Mother, you tried Sugar Crisp yet? Boy, if you haven't, put that right on top of your grocery list. Bankhead working diligently here on a tough man. Sends a fastball outside for ball 3. Erskine continues to warm up. maybe Shotton will want the pitch hitter for Bankhead, who will be the second man up in the last half of the fifth inning. Hurston is getting tuned up. Got him on the back of the stove. Bankhead ready to deliver now, 3-1. Checks, runner at first base. And there goes Elliott. The pitch high, a high fly ball going deep out towards right center field. And this one is up against the fence. In to score comes Torgerson, right up back of him. Comes Elliott, and so it is now 3 runs in. Bankhead got by 1 man, but a big booming tipple by Marshall off the right center field fence gets 2 more in. Torgerson and Elliott come home to roost. Marshall, his second hit, a couple of runs batted in, gives him now a total of 16. And he's whacked over. 6-0, favor of Boston. Top half of the fifth inning. Better wait for the call on that because for a while it looked like there might be enough carry to get this thing into Bedford Avenue. It's high up against the wall. The Snyder practically crawled up and tried to grab it. Up there now is Big Cooper. Walker swings at the fly ball to center. Looks like it's going to be deep enough to get this run in. There's Snyder making a grab of it. Here comes Marshall tugging to the plate, and he makes it easy. Number 4 comes over. 7-0. Braves leading the Dodgers here at Ebbets Field. So it's a run batted in for Big Cooper. Brings up Sibby Sisti, the second baseman. Now he got a chance to play. He's yet to come up with a base hit. 4 for 8. 2 out. Bankhead in with a curveball up too high. Ball 1. Well, the Dodgers got a lot of work to do. Trailing 7-0. Top half of the fifth inning. Bankhead spins in with a curveball and gets it through for a strike. Braves have counted 4 times here in the top half of the fifth inning, and they're still at it. 2 out. Big swung on. There's a little looper hit out back to second. Reese goes over and bumps into Robinson. Down goes Pee Wee, and Robinson gets the ball, and Reese, I think, is hurt. Reese went charging over. Jack went after the ball. The 2 of them converged right back to second base, and they smacked. And Robinson got the ball, but Reese had the wind knocked out of him, and out trainer Wendler. And Billy Southworth, the Braves, a few more of them are running out there. The Dodgers, of course, are all around their little captain. And he stretched out. Boy, that was a bang-bang. He went into the run. He's like running into a brick wall. Pee Wee was not looking, and he just kept going after that ball. And Jack came on, too, both of them watching the flight of it, and smacked together. And now Pee Wee's up, walking around. Okay, there.
Well, friends, everywhere, folks are talking about the new cereal sensation called Sugar Crisp. Yes, sir, and Sugar Crisp is really something to talk about. An entirely new cereal that's more than a cereal. As a cereal, it's dandy. For snacks, it's handy, or eat it like candy. Sugar Crisp, you see, is wholesome buckwheat with a delicious coating of sugar and honey. Now, for your breakfast, why, you just pour milk or cream on top and skip the sugar. Delicious. And you can enjoy Sugar Crisp between meals for a special snack. Or take it along wherever you go. Or just eat it right out of the bag, like candy. So, better treat the family. The Post Sugar Crisp right away, Mom. How about this Saturday afternoon, huh? Stores are still open? Yes, sir. Buy several bags, and then just watch them disappear. So look for Sugar Crisp at your friend the grocer's in the big red, white, and blue cellophane bag. Well, we got the last half of the fifth inning coming along. Connie, it was quite a collision down there, wasn't it?
I walked walking in the door in the middle of the night. Wow. Now, Pee-wee's all right. Doc Wendler motioned up to our booth here, said that he got him around the windpipe, knocked the wind out of him. Edwards up there takes the first pitch over for a strike. Sukforth is motioning down to the bullpen for Erskine to get tuned up. Looks like they're going to hit for Bankhead. Now they need runs. Dodgers nothing and Boston 7. Last half of the fifth inning. Edwards up there trying to get him a start. 5 for 31. This is average. Swings and lines this one right at third baseman Elliott. Bob didn't have to move a step. Come to me, baby. Line drive right at the third baseman for the first out of the last half of the fifth inning. And Bankhead now is coming up to hit. So all the motion into the bullpen to Mr. Erskine. Carl now turns around, sees Bankhead walking up. Oh, he's going to lob it through. Sam Nairn is ready to go sit down, and now they do. Bankhead, who's a pretty good hitter, 1 for 7 so far this year, batting at 143. First day in Ebbets Field, he had a home run. Right-hand batter. Swings on the first pitch, and it's a high foul back on the plate. Here comes Big Cooper. He's got it. Big high foul back on the plate. 2 down. And Pee-wee, I guess, is going to take the rest of the afternoon off. Eddie Mixis is over at the bat rack. Boy, that was quite a bump. And Mixis still hasn't found his favorite stick yet. So Reese is through for the afternoon. And if we get any further word, well, we'll pass it along to you about Pee-wee. Yeah, it looks like running into a brick wall. So Mixis is going to hit for Reese and undoubtedly will take over shortstop. Eddie Mixis is one of the fine leather men in the game. He's not so potent with that stick, but boy, you can't let a guy like this go. Takes the first pitch on the corner for a strike. 2 out. Nobody on. The Dodgers behind 7-0. And Vern Bickford, who has beaten them 3 times since he came in the league, had himself a pretty good day. Curve swung on and lifted high out to left field. Now there it is, Gordon, waiting now, looking up into this tough sky, and takes it for the out. Boy, it was a rainmaker. So 3 up, 3 down. And the Dodgers take the field now to face this Boston attack that has been rather rough this afternoon. Whacked them around for 7 runs so far. So we're ready to serve up the old redhead again with our post-serial scoreboard, and there's plenty on it.
At the end of 6 innings, the Phillies leading 6-1 over the Giants. Sisler and Ennis hit home runs. End of 3 innings, the Pirates lead the Cubs 2-1. Cincinnati's at St. Louis tonight. In the American League, the Athletics failed to score in their first at-bat over at the stadium. The Yankees are now hitting. Wise is pitching for the A's against Grashey of New York. This has been a very significant afternoon at the stadium because this has been the ball game in honor of Ed Barrow. And the Yankees, you know, won all those pennants while Barrow was the fellow putting them together. And so a player from each of the former Yankee pennant-winning teams under Ed Barrow was there today, and a player from each of the National League teams that opposed those Yankee teams in the World Series was also there. So there's a great deal of sentiment there. And I don't know of a finer tribute to be paid to a more deserving person than the tribute to have a day in honor of Ed Barrow at Yankee Stadium. He, more than any other individual, built it. In 5.5 innings, the Red Sox lead Washington 2-0, and at the end of 4.5 innings, the White Sox over the Indians 2-1. What's the score here, Connie?
7-0. And it's unnatural as far as the Brooklyn fans are concerned.
What's the score here, Connie?
7-0. And it's unnatural as far as the Brooklyn fans are concerned. The Braves out on top. Buddy Kerr leading off against Bankhead here. Takes the first pitch high outside for ball 1. Outfield pretty much straight away. Infield normal. Mixis down at third, and Cox moves over to shortstop. Kerr swings and misses. Ball 1, strike 1. So Eddie's a handy man to have around on your bench. Reese, in a collision with Robinson, had to take the rest of the afternoon off. Banged his windpipe. Now the 1-1 pitch. Curve, bunched down along the third baseline. Mixes, grabs it, goes to first. I'll tell you, that Mixes can handle that leather. An awful lot of ball clubs like to have him around on their bench. Not only on their bench, and players. Vern Bickford getting a fluttering of applause here as he comes marching up. He shut out the Dodgers for 5 innings. Mates had gone out and got 7 runs off Hatton and Bankhead. Fastball is high inside, ball 1. Bickford, as a hitter, is 1 for 13. Average of .077. Outfield is split, big hole in left center. Bickford takes under the hand, ball 2. Schuba is playing a normal straightaway left field, but Snyder is faded over a bit towards right center. There's a big area out there between the center gardener and the left fielder. Now the 2-0 pitch, and this one is inside. Ball 3. Moving a plate around on Dan. Bankhead in relief of Joe Hatton. Dan ready to deliver the 3-0 pitch. Down she comes, too high, and without looking at the strike, Bickford goes on down to first base. First walk given up by Bankhead. Struck out 1. Game in the ball game after Hatton had served up a home run ball to Jeffco, is now coming up to hit left-handed against this right-hander. Then Torgerson walked, Elliott singled, and that was exit for Mr. Hatton. Enter Bankhead, struck out the first man, big lumberman Sid Gordon, and then Marshall cracked him for a triple. After the inning was all over and the smoke died down, they had 4 runs in the top of the 5th inning. Jethro up there. Swings at the high fly ball, deep back in the left center field. Schuba and Snyder racing way back, and it is Schuba who makes the catch. Snyder cut over in front of him, made a stab at it with his head, and Schuba behind him made the grab. For a minute, I thought we were going to have another one of those things. They are both converging on that baseball. It was hit deep back in the left center field, and that gave the crowd here at Ebbets Field something to hum about. Earl Torgerson, the first baseman, is up now, batting at .295, 23 base hits. Vern Bickford on at first base, 2 out, top half of the 6th, 7-0, favor the Braves. First of a 3-game series. Outfield playing Big Torgy to pull the ball towards right. Curveball dealt overhand low for ball 1. Torgerson is 1 for 2 officially this afternoon. Grounded to second, singled, and walked. Bickford down off first. Pitch is on the corner for a strike. Bankhead pitching to that outside corner. Gil Hodges is not on the bag. Pulling it against Bickford. He's back at his fielding depth with a left-hand hitter up there who can pull that ball in his sector. And now at the last second, Torgerson gets something in his eye and steps out. Ball 1, strike 1. Guy really takes a toe hold. Bankhead to his lingering stretch, brings it down very slowly, comes in with a high pitch outside. Pulled a string on it, but couldn't get it through, and ball 2 and strike 1. Billy Southworth coaching down at third. Donnie Cooney, who finished up managing the ball club last year, is at first base. Bankhead ready to serve 2-1 to Torgerson, does, and it's over for call strike 2. Here's the official attendance, friends. 19,488. 19488. Top of the 6th, 2 out. The count 2-2 on Torgerson. Bickford leads away from first base. Bankhead. Pitch is in there, and it's over for call strike 2. What a sneaky little curveball that got through there. And Mr. Torgerson was caught with his bat on his shoulder. So it is no runs, no hits, one man left on. Bickford walking with one away, and they left him at first base. Now, once again, here's Red Bob.
Connie, I bet you folks all over the country listening to this post serial broadcast and wondering when in the world we're going to talk about post toasting.
Well, now's a good time.
Never a better time. Post toasted. Boy, I'm telling you, that's a big hit in the Breakfast League, and that's the reliable hit. Post toasted. A long record of just making happy appetites happy. The friends, you try post toasters and judge for yourself, and see if they are better than any other cornflakes you ever ate. You'll find there's a world of difference in cornflakes, and it's post toasting that makes the difference. Yes, ma'am. You'll notice a delicious, grand-tasting difference in every spoonful of post toasters. They're extra good, extra tasty, and extra fresh. So next time it's a grocer's, don't you say cornflakes. You just ask the man for post toasters here. Get better cornflakes. Another famous post cereal, guaranteed fresh.
George Schuba leading off, and he can't get away from a curveball. It hits him right on his number 8 in the back of his uniform. And he's on at first base the hard way. The Schuba hit by a pitch. Bickford broke off a great big rainbow. Almost broke Schuba off, too. Well, Snyder is up. 7-0 score. The Dodgers have not scored in the last 19 innings. Shut out by Raffensperger and didn't score the last 5 innings at Pittsburgh. Pitch is over to Snyder for a strike. Oh, that's a long time. A run drought, isn't it? 19 innings. Shot, probably wondering when we're going to get the first one. Bickford ahead, Bob, and his pitch comes down. Swung on, pull to the right side. Sisti up with it. Goes to first, and they get one. The ball was not hit too sharply, so they made sure of the front man. Cardinal rule in baseball. Snyder hitting into a force play. Sisti, the second baseman, to Buddy Kerr, the shortstop. So Schuba is erased at the middle stop, and it brings up Jackie Robinson. Jack batting at .323. Walked in the first inning, grounded to second base in the fourth inning. Infield set up in double play position now. The runner on at first base and one out. Snyder leading away. Torgerson holding the bag tightly against him. Bickford takes a look, throws into Robinson. One on and foul right down below us, and Red made a hot left with it. Take a souvenir home to Little Miss Barbara. Big bad Braves came down from Boston having a tea party here. Last half of the 6th, 7-0. Bickford in with a pitch, swung on, hit down to short. Kerr, nice one-hand pickup, touches second, goes to first for a double play, and there's a 3-man collision out at second base. Sisti and Kerr, and then, just to say hello, the Duke came in there and dug up some of our Ebbetsfield real estate. And they all went down. This is quite a day we're having around here. Double play. And for the Braves, that is now their 26th. Well, friends, before we get you back to the old Redhead, I'll give you a quick look at the post-serial scoreboard. The National League, New York at Philadelphia, and at the end of 7 innings, the score is 6-1 in favor of the Phillies. Kurt Simmons going. Coslow started, Sal Magley in the 5th, and Kirby Higbee in the 7th inning. Sisler his 5th home run in the 4th inning with a man on. Del Ennis his 4th home run in the 6th with a man aboard. Pittsburgh playing at Chicago. Frank Hiller for the Little Bears, and Chambers for Pittsburgh. And it's a 2-2 tie at the end of 4 rounds. Cincinnati and St. Louis, they'll go at it at Portsmouth Park tonight. In the American League, Philadelphia and New York, and as Red told you, it's Ed Barrow Day. 0-0 at the end of 1.5. Hooks Wise, former Cub, going for Philadelphia, and Vic Raschi for New York. Boston 4, Washington 0 at the end of 6 innings. Chicago and Cleveland, it's a 2-1 ball game in favor of the White Sox. Bobby Feller pitching and hit a home run. And St. Louis and Detroit will play a little later on. So that's it. And now, once again, back at his post, here's the old Redhead Red Ball.
Connie, don't you get Paul at the reservation here. We want to hear from you later on. 7th inning, Bob Elliott, who has a pair of singles that are 3 times up. He's sitting now at 259. Big right-hand hitter. Relief pitcher Bankhead ready to go, and it's 7-0 Boston. Curveball is in. Ball 1. Bankhead is a tall, lithe, slender fellow. He's the first Negro in the history of the major leagues to pitch. Pitched here at Brooklyn, if you recall. Then went down to Montreal. Now back again. Curve, over. Ball strike, 1-1. Johnny Antonelli is throwing down in the Boston bullpen. Is what he's throwing for remains to be seen. At any rate, he's keeping ready. Although, as far as the Dodgers are concerned, Bickford's been too rough. Outfield around toward left on Bob, who pulls the ball. Hits it hard out that way. Fastball is very high. Edwards has to reach up, left hand, mid on it, pull it down. 2-1. The strong wind, which has not let up, in other words, isn't blowing in gusts, it's just constant, blows from right field into the left field corner, or from first base to third base. Bankhead, 2-1. A curve, 1-1 in mid. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Braves have run in the first inning, 2 runs in the third, and 4 in the fifth. The first run was a gift from Tough Sky, but the next 6, boy, have been blasted. In fact, the Braves hadn't had anybody hitting a single. It's sort of puny. Bankhead deals 2-2. Curve swung in this first series. Third strikeout for Elliott. Dodgers snapped the ball around. This is the first game of the long homestand. Braves here tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock. Jack Collins, the business manager of the Dodgers, just situated to the post-serial box. There are 12,000 seats, all prices for tomorrow's game. 12,000 seats. 1 out from Sid Gordon. He hit a big home run earlier. He takes a fastball high inside. Ball 1. Sidney walked in the first inning and banged the 2-run home run. That was the Sugar Crisper right there in the third. Sid hitting 270. Right-hander Bankhead delivers. Curve high inside. Ball 2. You talk about something that's loose and limber, you ought to see this Bankhead pitch. He pitches as though he just hasn't got a bone in his body. And Jakes comes down 2-0, fastball high inside for ball 3. Eddie Batan, who is one of the old settlers among the rooters here at Ebbets Field, has been good for us this afternoon, as usual. Down there howling at Desmond. 2-0 pitch, fastball high inside, ball 4. Base on ball. You folks out around the country, anytime you come in this neck of the woods, goodness sake, you look up and see if the Dodgers are home. Whereas you just haven't been to New York at all if you haven't dropped in at the field. If you haven't seen a ball game in Brooklyn, you just haven't seen one. We got lots of fellows like Batan around here. You'll know you're in a place that's jumping. Never read there all day. If it's going to happen, it'll happen here. Parade, 7-0, Boston. 1 gone, Willard Marshall up. Hit a triple, knocked 2 in. Off Bankhead, you recall, in the 5th inning. That's that. Well, left-hand hitter swings at the fly ball going deep on the right field. Rollo at the base of the scoreboard makes the catch. Throw goes to second base. Gordon returning to first. The wind held that up just enough to make it touchable. Without the wind today, that ball would have been halfway up on the scoreboard. I'll say, a lot of you haven't been to Brooklyn, have you? Well, let me tell you, the dimensions down the right field wall, 297 right down the right field line. It is 395 in the right center field corner. It is 393 in the left center field corner. It is 351 in back of left field, and in the straight down the left field power wide, it's 348. Double deck stands all the way around except for directly behind right field. That's where the famous wall is. Here's Big Walker Cooper up. Swings and misses the curve. He hasn't a hit in 3 at-bats for the Braves, but he batted in the run. And in their 7th, the long fly ball. Big guy swinging from the end. Outfield around toward left. There goes Sid Gordon. Cooper swings, busts the ball down the left field corner. Over goes Schuber. He can't get it across the wall for the first hit for Cooper. And here is Gordon around third. He's coming on in and scoring. It's a big double by Walker Cooper. So Southworth has Gordon running. And Big Cooper hit a 3-1 pitch. Banged it off the left field wall. 348 feet away for his first hit as a Brave. So he bangs in 2. Makes it now 8-0 game in favor of Boston. The first 6 runs Trounce scored at Joe Hatton. The next 2 to relief pitcher Bankhead. 2 men gone. Big Cooper, who's not so fast. He can swing that wood. And I think he likes to play for Southwood. Down there, second base. Miller's got him back again. Right ahead of his St. There's City Sisti. S-I-S-T-I, Sisti. Bought from Buffalo. Into the Braves quite a few years. Did both outfield, infield. Right-hand hitter. Pretty good. Fastball down on its feet. All one. It may be that Chotton wants Newcomb to work an inning or so to tune up today. We'll see. I know left-hander Antonelli continues throwing in the left field corner for the Braves. Boston on top, 8-all. The Braves looking for their first win over the Dodgers this year. Brooklyn swept the 2-game series at Boston earlier. 1-0 pitch, curve low, and it is ball 2. Boss Southworth pushing it third. He's an energetic figure. Johnny Cooney pushing at first base. Southworth has my most complete admiration. Bankett's throw. Billy has had to beat himself twice. You know, the hardest thing in the world is for a man to beat himself. He went out of the major leagues. One time, you know, he was manager with the Cardinals, but all the way down to the bottom, had to start up again, Class D ball. And he won his own fight. He came back to be manager of the Cardinals again and won World Championships. And he went on to Boston. Pitch inside, ball 3. And if there was one thing on the face of the earth that Southworth loved that son of his. And he was a great boy. He was worth that devotion. And he had a fine war record. And then you'll recall, he went off a runway, landing at LaGuardia Field, and his body wasn't found for months. And Southworth, Nelly, was torn apart. But he survived that. You gotta like a fellow of that strike. 3-1 pitch now to Sisti. Low, ball 4. He's the ball, base on ball. That's 3 walks given up by Bankhead. Or should we say he looked slightly less than brilliant in his relief assignment. Of course, the testing point is, can he throw the ball at all after pulling that muscle? I'll let Desmond spell it, but they tell me the muscle he pulled at Chicago was the supraspinatus. Try that one on your ukulele. So 1 run in. Run at the first and second for Boston here in the 7th inning. 8-0 in favor of the Braves, who are hitterish, to put it mildly. Buddy Carr has 1 hit for 3 at-bats, the shortstop. Batting 181 for the year. Outfield slightly into left. Bankhead stops, deals, curves one on line into right center field for a base hit. They could wave around third base. And let's see, Sisti comes into third and Carr holds the first for the ringing single. Second run of the inning on the 9th of the game, and all for the Braves. So Carr hits a line single out of the right center field. 1 batted in for him. Sisti around the third. And the Braves continue on the warpath. We've got a little scalping party here in Flatbush. Hodges over to mound, talking to Bankhead. Pitcher Vern Bickford, who hasn't won a game this year, is sort of edging into the catbird seat, I would think, wouldn't you? He's had it himself, and his teammates have gotten him 9 runs. But at Christmas time on the 13th of May, Bankhead working for the third out. Men at first and third. Pitches high inside at the Bickford has to get back out of the way. Sister who can run, leading down off third and foul ground. So in the event he's hit with a batted ball, he would not be automatically out. Car off first, second base open. Outfield back into right. Bickford takes high inside for ball 2. Bankhead behind now, 2-0. Seventh man to come up here in the 7th inning. Braves out in front, 9-0. 6 runs off Hatton, 3 off Bankhead. Fastball over for a called strike. Preacher Rowe is going down to the Brooklyn bullpen, I guess, to carry some instructions. He's not taking a glove with him. He's going down and is talking to Newcomb. Newcomb and Erskine both throwing. Pitch over for a strike, and it's 2-2. Rowe still talking with Newcomb. He ran down there too. Apparently he was under orders. We got to get a station break here as soon as we can. It's long, upper half of the 7th inning. But if you think it's long, how long do you think Bankhead thinks it is? 2-2 pitch. Strike 3, 6 to make the close it. So without further ado, with the Braves picking up 2 here to go ahead 9-0, we'll pause for station identification.
I got a little riddle here, and see if you can come up with the right answer. Tell me, how quick is quick?
Oh, how about a fella knocking off his first bowl of Sugar Crisp? Is that quick enough?
Give that man a case of Sugar Crisp. Yes, friends, it's a fact. You'll sail right through that first bowl of Sugar Crisp once you discover how doggone good it is. Now, this exciting new Post cereal is fun to eat. It's wholesome puffed wheat with a delicious sugar and honey coating. You just pour on the milk or cream, skip the sugar, and get set for the happiest new breakfast treat in years and years. Okay, Red.
Right on, Connie. What were you talking about?
Sugar Crisp.
Yes, sir. Sugar Crisp. Pomperello, first up, last of the 7th. Takes a pitch in for a called strike. Bickford, right-hander for the Braves. Pitches and call, hits Simpson foul up by third base, close to the stands. Elliott's getting over. Close. He's got it. All up against the railing alongside third. Foul ball to the third baseman. 1 up and 1 disposed of. Last to the 7th. That was about as quick as you could say. Sugar Crisp again, wasn't it? One go on. Bickford has been quite efficient. Quite an executioner out here. Pitching a very good game. Joe Hodges, who has Brooklyn's 1 hit, which is sort of a scribble. Very much a scribble at the end of the bat down to first. It could have been scored an error very easily, one way or the other. Fastball over, called. But the official scorer, like the umpire's got to call it now, one way or the other. So that's the only hit so far. In fact, that's why you have an official score, to rule on something that is a doubtful status. Newcomb continues throwing. Erskine is stopped down in the Brooklyn bullpen. And another throwing in the Boston bullpen. Bickford deals, misses with his change up the fastball, ball 1. A ball up, strike. There's a big DC-6 bringing away in. 1 pitch, curveball swung on a high, pop fly. There's shortstop Carr backing up under it. He got it. 2 out. Speaking about DC-6s, that was one that brought the Dodgers in from Cincinnati. Captain Harry Clark of American Airlines up there. And it was a great flight. Came in 17,500. That's eating high up on the hog, boy. 2 down, last to the 7th. And Billy Cox takes a change up over for a called strike. Bickford has got everything working now. Beautiful, beautiful. Bickford with 1 out walked 3 men in the first inning. Then he struck out Perello, got him to take a 3rd strike, and got Hodges on a ground ball. Otherwise, he hadn't been threatened. Cox hits a grounding ball past the mound, out turning in the center field for a base hit. This is hit number 2, and if nothing else, it takes any sting away from that little split hit of Hodges in the 4th inning. Naturally, you get along this far, people are going to say, well, it'd be a shame if the guy is really going for one of those no-hitters if he just went getting his scribble in there. But that matter is now settled. That's a clean single for Cox at the center. Hit number 2 off Bickford. 9-0 in favor of the Rays, and the batter is Bruce Edwards. Hodges around toward left. Cox off first. Edwards takes a fastball low. All one. Pete Hermansky has walked out on deck, apparently to hit for Bankhead if Edwards can save him a life. And Newcomb is the only pitcher working in the Brooklyn bullpen. So adding up, we're all going down to talk to Newcomb just now, etc. Erskine stopping his work and Newcomb continuing his. Apparently you feel that manager Shopper would like to see Newcomb get an inning or so's tune today. Ball, no strikes. Edwards up there at the plate, right-hand batter. Swings, ball strike. 1-1. Just had word from the clubhouse and from Doc Wendler, the trainer, that Pee Wee Reese, in his collision with Jackie Robinson, banged his windpipe. No abrasion, and nothing serious. He's all right. Glad to send that word to you. Bickford steps off the mound and gets on. The town call. Edwards out. Bickford set. Delivers. Edwards takes hindsight. Ball 2. Being what news that we're very happy to tell you about, we're glad to find out today that John L. Smith of the Brooklyn official family, who had a serious operation some 10 weeks ago, is feeling increasingly better. Now that good weather is coming, on occasion he's out in Prospect Park and around, getting the sunshine. 2-1 pitch, swung on, fouled out. Of course, you know that's grand news about a grand person. Smith, of course, is known wherever there are doctors and chemists as one of the outstanding contributors to such fields as development of penicillin, Caromycin. 2-2 pitch to the curve high, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 gone. Cox at first. Braves hit tomorrow, 12,000 feet for all prices. The 3-2 pitch, Cox goes, of course, and it is ball 4 Edwards. Bickford now has 2 on. The first walk that he has had to surrender since the 3 back-to-back in the first inning, and Gene Hermansky is hitting for Dan Bankhead. Bankhead, who has pitched the last 3 innings and given up the last 3 runs. Hermansky, a left-hand batter, 2 for 4 this year. He's been strictly a pinch hitter. Takes a fastball over for a called strike. Antonelli continues working for the Braves, the left-hander. Newcomb gets his jacket. He's coming back into the bench, and it is obvious that Big Don will test his right arm next inning against the Braves. Throw, swung on, line drive, foul. Goes down into the boxes, way down the right field corner. 4 balls, 2 strikes. Hermansky, strong, muscular left-hand hitter. Newcomb walking back into the dugout. Joe Hatton started for Brooklyn and was jawed loose A home run by Gordon in the third and a home run by Jethro in the fifth. He's out of there. The first 6 runs tossed to Hampton. Makes 3 to Bankhead. 9-0 Boston. 2 strikes to Hermansky, who takes a curve low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Newcomb scaled his glove out onto the grass. Distant foul ground halfway between the plate and first base. So he's the next pitcher. Hermansky's hitting to Bankhead. Donulino's been home resting that bad arm of his all the past week. Another ball high outside to Hermansky. 2-2. Plays 9. Dodgers nothing, and the Dodgers, of course, trying to rally, recoup, reform, and in other words, get back into the ball game. Bobby Holt, stocky right-hander who relieves for the Braves, is now up and throwing. 2-2 pitch, way high outside for ball 3. And Bickford said he didn't want to pitch that ball again. Ball catcher Cooper makes the exchange. That's another one which they don't Larry gets. Johnny Jorgensen is going over to the Brooklyn bat rag. Eddie Mixis scheduled to hit next if Hermansky gets on. Mixis is a right-hand batter. And as Connie pointed out to you when Mixis took over in the ball game for Reese, that Mixis is primarily noted for his ability with a glove. All right, Paul Surios happy to send you another big one from Brooklyn. Runners go. The 3-2 pitch is ball 4. Hermansky walks. Ball once again loaded. Johnny Jorgensen, the spider. Coming on the hit for the third baseman, Mixis. Here in the 7th inning. There's the announcement. Jorgensen is 0 for 1. He's been almost a forgotten man when the ball's out, so to speak. There's John Morgan coming up and Billy Cox around. He's never lost his ability to smile while he's been grinding out these tough days. Outfield around toward right. 2 out, 3 on. Pitch is low inside. Ball 1 for the Spider. I don't think he weighs 140 pounds. But he has great timing. Open stance, left-hand hitter. Cox off third. Edwards off second. Hermansky off first. It's a ball strike. Bob Chipman, the left-hander, gets up. Antonelli gets out of there. Antonelli was probably just throwing and shooting south. Bobby Holt, the right-hander, and Chipman, the left-hander, both working in the bullpen for the Braves in the event that Bickford has lost his touch. The Dodgers trying to penalize him. Lost him ahead. 9-0. There'll be 2 men out. A single by Cox, and then Bickford adding to his own troubles with walks to Edwards and pinch hitter Hermansky. That's how she stands. The 1-1 pitch. Paul strikes 2. Curveball at the shoulders on the outside. Jorgensen steps back and kicks on the decision to Getz. Getz answered him back in kind. Johnny gets in. Catcher Cooper down. And he's Trounce. Larry gets working into the crack between the catcher and the left-hand hitter. Leaned off the catcher's right shoulder. Bickford deals a high outside curve. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2. The Dodgers trying to do something about this 9-0 deficit. The Braves have slapped on them. This is the last of the 7th inning. 2 out, 3 on. 2-2 pitch. High outside for ball 3. Fastball. Scouts all the way. An automatic line hit. 3-2 and 2-man ball. Jorgensen. Shoulders that stick now on his left shoulder. Now starts to pump it. Backs out of there. Bickford taking a little time for him. Paid crowd, 19,488. And they're hooping and hollering here at Brooklyn. Boy, this ballpark is always alive. Runners go. The 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. So it's a 1-4 spin. 9-1. The bases remain loaded. Billy Southworth runs out to the mound. The first time he's gone out there today. He is staying with Bickford, leading him in. So Bickford runs his shutout, and his hopes for collecting a case of Sugar Crisp for such a feat. He's walked 3 straight men, following a single, so a run is home. Batter is George Stuba. It's a 9-1 ball game, and the first run the Dodgers have scored now in 20 innings. It was forced upon them. Outfield toward right on Stuba, left-hand hitter. Swings at the ground ball to the right side. Sisti has to get away from him. It's an error. All hands are safe and another run in. It's an error at short. The bases remain loaded, and run number 2 is in. Well, that was the break the Dodgers were looking for as they strive to have a big inning now. A boot by Sisti of a ground ball hit right at him. The bases remain loaded. It is a 9-2 ball game. And the batter is Duke Snyder. Takes a fastball high outside. Ball 1. Only the first run can be earned. No additional runs can be earned if the Dodgers get any more. The second run is not earned. Third umpire Getz inspecting the ball. The bases remain up for the Fuller Brooklyns. The Braves 9 and the Dodgers 2. A single with 2 out, 3 bases on balls, and error at second base. We had 2 runs in, 3 on. Snyder up there 1-0. Swings and busts the ball out into right field. A line drive right at Willard Marshall, who grabbed it for the out. So that ends that. 2 runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 3 left. End of 7 innings, 9 runs. They're all earned on 10 hits and 1 error for the Braves. 2 runs, the first one earned, 2 hits. And for Brooklyn, no errors. It is Post Cereals sending it all to you from here in Brooklyn. You know the famous Post cereals, Post Toasters, Post Grape Nuts Flakes, Post Raisin Bran, 40% Bran Flakes, Post Tims, and the newest is Post Sugar Crisp. Jorgensen, who hit for Mixus at third, goes to third. Don Newcomb comes on to be the pitcher and will pitch to the top of the order. Jethro as we move into the 8th inning. Newcomb, big right-hander. Been home with an ailing arm. Manager shot and sent him home from Chicago. When he found he couldn't pitch, said, okay, go home and get a complete rest. You can't rest around the ball club. Newcomb's on the mound. The Phillies knock off the Giants 7-1 to tighten their hold in first place in the National League. It's a 2-2 tie between the Pirates and the Cubs at the end of 6. Cincinnati's at St. Louis tonight. In the American League, the Yankees at the end of 2.5 lead the Athletics 4-0 on Ed Barrow Day. Washington has come up with 4 runs in the 7th and tied the Red Sox at 4-4, and the Red Sox are now batting the 8th inning, 4-4 tie. Chicago at Cleveland, White Sox 2 and the Cleveland Indians 1. Cleveland at bat in the 7th inning. Newcomb's got a couple more pitches to throw, so what do you say that we pause briefly for station identification? Sam Jethro, who burned up the woods with Montreal in the National League last year. Switch hitter, batting left-handed. Sam, of course, is the first Negro player in the history of the Braves. Boy, he's been some ball player for him. Most hits in the league, 33. 5 of them home runs. Swings at a high foul ball. Bruce Edwards, the catcher, coming back. He's under it. He's got it. Fifth row fouling out. One gone. Beginning of the 8th. Rook in infield is now Hodges at first base. Robinson at second. Billy Cox is playing short, and the third baseman is Johnny Jorgensen. First time Johnny has been able to wear a glove this year in a game. Earl Torgerson, 1 hit for 3 at-bats. Swings and hits a ground ball slowly towards second. Robinson's up, close to first. Just in time, and Torgerson is out. This pitch umpire Lou Jordan giving it the thumb. Nice play by Robbie. Now Bob Elliott. Big third baseman has 2 line singles that are 4 times up. Right-handed Newcomb kicks, throws, fastball inside. Newcomb is fast. If he's ready to pitch again, some of the Brooklyn pitching problems may be solved. After all, you don't go very far when you ace. He's not even with you. Back home resting his arm. The Braves here tomorrow, 12,000 seats. All prices. Throw, swung on a ground ball down to third. Jorgensen up with it. Fires over to first base in time. Elliott retired, and Newcomb puts the side down 1, 2, 3, which in itself is encouraging. 9-2, favor the Braves. Talking about Brooklyn pitchers, did you know that the Dodger pitching staff gave up fewer hits than any other National League pitching staff last season? You didn't? It's a fact. That's just one interesting fact out of thousands that you'll discover in the 1950 Dodger yearbook. You'll see personal write-ups and statistics on every man on the roster, pictures and dimensions of every National League ballpark, all kinds of exciting, interesting information. That's what you'll get in the new Dodger yearbook if you get your copy. And to get your copy, just mail a box top from any Post cereal package or the front panel of a Sugar Crisp bag, plus a quarter to Dodger Yearbook, Box 79, Brooklyn 1, New York. Remember, this is the same book that costs 50 cents at Ebbets Field, but you get it for only 25 cents, plus the box top from any Post cereal package or the front panel of a Sugar Crisp bag. So write to Dodger Yearbook, Box 79, Brooklyn 1, New York, and be sure to give your own name and address, yeah? Robinson first up, last of the 8th. Right-hander Bickford delivers. Curve outside. All right. 9-2 Boston. Bickford with a 7-run lead delivers. Robinson hits the deep short. Carr is up. The shortstop throw is in time, and Robbie is out by a step. 1 up, 1 away. After the 8th. Carl Ferrello was involved in a very pivotal turn of the game when in the first inning, with the Braves leading 1-0, Bickford with 1 out walked 3 straight Dodgers. But then he induced Ferrello to look at a 3rd strike. Carl swings as a high foul ball. There's catcher Walker Cooper coming back, getting under it, and takes it. Takes up to easily for out number 2. Who are gone last of the 8th. Hodges, who has 1 hit, an infield stretch single. Dodgers have only 2 hits. Hodges batting .311. Wind continues blowing out toward left. Fine crowd, lots of sunshine here at Ebbets Field. Curve over. Call strike. Billy Lowe's, boy from Queens, out here on Long Island, warming up for the Dodgers. Cut a ball in under the chin, 1-1. Lowe's is a bonus player and has to be with Brooklyn this year, unless the Dodgers wish to take their chances of losing him at waivers. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, foul back. 1-2. Newcomb pitched a very good inning. He showed manager Shotton something. Needed just a little work, a little tuning up. One and two pitch. Curve swung on and tapped foul outside first base. Tomorrow's game on Sunday is 2 o'clock. For those of you out and around the country listening in on our coast-to-coast broadcast, in addition to our local one here in New York, there is a New York State Sunday law that no athletic event, that's a baseball game, not any athletic event, cannot start before 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. 1-2 pitch, curve swung on and hit high out in the short to right center field. Second baseman Sister back under it, and he's got it. So the Dodgers go down routinely enough, or the docilely in fact, 1-2-3, last 3-8, and Bickford regained his mastery. So at the end of 8, it is 9-2 in favor of the Braves. In the American League, at the end of 3 innings, it's the Yankees 5 and the Athletics nothing. The Yankees, Burrow and Brown have hit home runs. The A's, Wise, Shive, and Fowler have been. Newcomb going out to the mound to pitch the 9th inning. At the end of 8 innings, the Boston Red Sox are leading Washington 5-1. And Dobson is pitching in the 9th inning, trying to get Washington out of there and save the 1-run lead. Sid Hudson's gone all the way for Washington. Staub started for Boston, Masterson in the 7th, when Washington got 4 runs to tie it, and Dobson has come on in the 9th. Ted Williams and Walt Drofo have hit home runs for the Red Sox. At the end of 7 innings, it's a 2-2 tie between the Chicago White Sox and the Cleveland Indians. Kane pitching for Chicago. Feller went the first 7 innings and hit a home run for Cleveland, and Flores is pitching in the 8th. For the Browns of Detroit, Garver will go for the Brownies and Trucks for the Tigers. Final score in the National League. The Phillies up there in first place, 7 runs, 7 hits, and no errors behind Kurt Simmons, his 4th win against 1 setback. For the Giants, a run, only 3 hits off Simmons, no errors. Carslow, Magley, and Higbee from New York, and Carslow, the starter, was the loser. At the end of 6.5 innings, a 2-2 tie between the Pirates and the Cubs. And the Reds played St. Louis tonight, and that's that. You're 9-2. Braves leading here at Brooklyn, and Sid Gordon up, and Newcomb pitches in high for ball 1. Gordon has 1 hit, 2 official at bats. There's 2 walks. Strong, stocky right-hand hitter takes high inside, ball 2. Sid hitting 270. Curveball high inside, and it is ball 3. 3-0. Newcomb is big, about 6'5", 240 pounds, 235 pounds. And he's big as the side of a house. Throws, ball 4. And Gordon picks up his 3rd walk this afternoon. Braves now had a half a dozen free passes given to them, and Bickford has walked 6 of the Dodgers. The odd thing about Bickford is he's been wild in 2 spurts. He walked 3 straight in the 1st inning and 3 straight again in the 7th. Will Marshall has had a single and a triple. A 10-hitter. Ball strike. Newcomb off the hands. Marshall hitting 272. Outfield what right. Pitch swung on. A high pop fly. Deep back to 3rd. It may be trouble. It is in there for a base hit. It's in there for a single. Schubert running over as fast as he could. Was to step away, but got the ball on the bounce. The ball dropped about 5 feet fair. Deep back at 3rd base, or out into short left field. Single for Marshall. Swinging late on an outside pitch and dunked her in there. Gives him his 3rd hit today. Number 1 off Newcomb. For the Braves, you're leading 9-2. They just as soon open the gap. Cooper, the catcher, up. It's a curve inside. Walker Cooper. 1 for 4. Got a base hit. Line double is last trip. Hatfield toward left. Cooper swings it over. Drives on deep in the right center field. It's way out there. And it is in the center field, lower center field stands for a big home run for Cooper. That's his first home run of the year and his second straight hit for the Braves, and it makes it now 12-2 in favor of Boston. And it's a case of the Sugar Crisp to the Walker Cooper household. Yes, sir. So he banged that one deep in the lower right center field stands, right back on the sign where it says 376 feet. 3 rows of seats in there. He hung it in. Nobody out, and 3 runs home. Braves had widened the gap even more. Well, they really had their hitting shoes on. And City Sister stepping in. Had no hit today. Cuts and fouls this one in the lower first base stands. Newcomb was really jarred. The home run hurt you. Cooper knocked in 5 runs today in his debut with the Braves. Fastball over for a ball, second strike. Hatfield on toward left. Swung on and missed. Third ball. Strike 3. So City has had a rather rough afternoon. See, he struck out twice. He's gone 0 for 4. Got on once for the walk and he's made an error. Buddy Carr has 2 hits before at bats. Locked in a run. Goes in the 190s. Struggling to get that average up to above 200. Comes back on pitch in to Needs. Ball 1. Billy Lowe's continues throwing down the Brooklyn bullpen. For Boston, the big Cooper really putting a big one in the center field stands. 12. The Dodgers 2. Ball strike on the outside. 1-1. Imagine Southworth now is very pleased to have this big Cooper with him. Put that ball that way and catch him. They traded him a couple days ago for Ryan. Curve, inside, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. The Newcomb, who went along swimmingly in the 8th inning, got wet in the 9th. Two-1 pitch, swung on, the line drive, right in center field. Carr coming up for his third hit. That one would have knocked the horns off Big Don if he'd had any. So the line single, right over the pitcher's head on the center field. And Vern Bickford has been a rich man all afternoon. He's been on the sunny side of the street. Yes, sir. Going after his year's first win. He's got a 10-run lead now here in the 9th inning. Dodgers looking for the bunt. He tries it, misses. Why would you have the pitcher bunt with 1 out and a man on first in the 9th? Well, because he might go out and not move the man from first, so he might waste him. Or he might, if you allow him to swing, hit into a double play, even worse. If you bunt him, he gets them out of the out. There's a bunt. Newcomb off the mound fields it. Throw goes to first base. Bickford is out of sacrifice. Sacrifices himself, and so giving up the second out, which they figured the pitcher would cost him anyhow. They move Carr into a better scoring position at second base. It's a matter of percentage. If you're one place, then get a no better place. Sam Jethro has 1 hit, home run. Got in the 5th inning. Switch hitter batting left-handed. Hitting at 344. He's a rookie, of course. Montreal last year. Swings and has a high foul into the third base stand. A ball, 1 strike. Jethro's extremely quick. He's a very slender fella. Looks almost bony. Well, he can run. And in running, he makes it look easy. There's a lot of talk about the league about who can outrun the other in 100 yards, Jethro or Bobby Thompson of the New York Giants. Jethro spinning all the way around. The ball's 2 strikes. 2 gone. Third, second. 12-2. Favor the Braves. A lot of people think that Jethro is the fastest fellow in spiked shoes. Leo DeRocha and the Giants, they say that Bobby Thompson can outrun anybody in baseball at 100 yards. Someday they may match it. I want to see it. Hicker's pitch swung on and missed. Strike 3, and Jethro stuck out on a curveball in at the hand. 3-run, Big Krupa following a walk and a single, but blasting one. 3 hits, 1 man left. Now it's time for the 9th coming about. We'll soon have a decision. Know what it is. It's now 12-2 in favor of the Braves. The 3 ways wonderful. That's Post Sugar Crisp, a marvelous new cereal that's made from wholesome pup wheat with a delightful coating of sugar and honey. Folks, just let me tell you, it's just fun to eat any one of 3 ways. At breakfast, pour Sugar Crisp in your cereal bowl and just add milk or cream. And then you can skip the sugar because this exciting new cereal is just sweet enough. For snacks in between meals, it's perfect too. And third, you just eat it right out of the bag like candy. Anytime, anywhere. Now, for example, you could be nibbling it right now while you're listening in. Yes, there's a cereal. It's dandy. For snacks, it's handy. Or eat it like candy. Look for Post Sugar Crisp in the red, white, and blue cellophane bag at your grocery. Try it real soon, yeah? And the Post folks, hope you're enjoying this ball game. We'll have another one for you next Saturday. Glad where you got you down. There's Billy Cox, who singled his last time up. It was the first real hit off Bickford, the second hit off Bickford. He's only given up 2, and for Cox, it's his only hit this year out of 7 official at-bats. Swings as a ground ball down to short. Buddy Carr charges up with it, fires to first, and that's all for Cox. 1 up and 1 gone. Last time of the 9th. Bruce Edwards marching up there with the lumber, and Jim Russell, who came to the Dodgers from the Braves, is going over to the bat rack, apparently to hit for Newcomb. Don pitched the last 2 innings, and all 3 of the Brooklyn pitches, first Hapman, then Banker, then Newcomb, all were scored on. Edwards fouls this pitch back. Bickford moving along rapidly. Van Howling over a scramble for the foul ball. Right-hander deals. There's a high foul close to the first base stand. Still close and back in amongst the customers. The ball is 2 strikes. 1 away, nobody on. Mars game, 2 o'clock, 12,000 seats of all prices available. Pitch is swung on, grounded down to short, Carr up with it, throw to first, in time, Edwards out, so Carr is put off the first 2. And Russell now reports to the umpire, and here's the announcement, as authorized by the plate umpire. You know, if you give the umpire the wrong player, you got to get that player and get him up there. And that happened in the World Series of 36. Which is high outside, ball 1. No, 37. In the Yankees and Giants. Pitch high outside, the pinch hitter Russell, ball 1. Russell 7 for 34, hitting 206. Switch hitter batting left-handed, takes a call strike. 1-1. 2 out. Boston 12. Brooklyn 2. Dodgers at 2 strikes and 1 out left. Now it's 2 balls, 1 strike. 2-1. Cooper goes out to mound. I remember that World Series game, 37, Harry Gumbert was given to the umpire, and the public address system said Gumbert. But Dick Kaufman came in out of the bullpen, if you recall. So they got Gumbert off the bench, made him pitch to one hitter. As a ball drilled in the right field for a pinch hit single. Third hit for the Dodgers. So Russell comes up with a clean base hit. Number 3 for Brooklyn. Johnny Jorgensen, who was off for 1 for the year, who pinch hit in the 7th inning and drew a base on balls, and after the bases loaded, forced in Brooklyn's first run. First run the Dodgers scored in 20 innings. Jorgie, left-hand hitter, swings and bounces down to first. Ferguson can't find the ball for a minute, then he does. Steps on the bag for the out and the ball game. So that's all. All runs, 1 hit in the last half of the 9th inning. So the Braves win the ball game with 12 runs, 13 hits in an error, and the Dodgers 2 runs, 3 hits, and for Brooklyn, no error. So that's some other scores in a second. But, you know, when it comes to keeping an A1 physical shape, it just wouldn't hurt any of us to take a tip from a championship ball club, the Dodgers. You know, they put a lot of emphasis on the right kind of meals in their training program. You'll find a steady performer. I catch a Roy Campanella saying this: if you want to do a good job every day, all season long, well, you just have to eat properly. And when you remember Roy's remark, folks, remember this too. You aren't eating properly unless you eat a good, substantial breakfast. One that includes fruit, bread and butter, beverage, and a cereal. That's the kind of nourishment you need to keep you going strong right through the morning. And for the cereal in that better breakfast lineup, pick your favorite Post cereal. All Post cereals are loaded with solid round-trip nourishment. Yes, sir. Eat a better breakfast each day with your favorite Post cereal included. In this ball game won by the Braves, 12-2. It's their first win out of 3 meetings with Brooklyn this year. And for the Dodgers, it gives them a 3rd straight defeat. Hatton, of course, is the losing pitcher. His record is now 1-2 for the year, 1-1 with Boston, and lifetime he's coming far into the Braves. Bickford wins his first game. He's lost 3. He's now 1-1 with Brooklyn, and lifetime he is 4-1 with the Dodgers. So I think those are about the salient statistics. Paid attendance 19,488, and you couldn't have asked for a nicer day from the weatherman. 12,000 seats of all prices available for tomorrow's game at 2 o'clock. The Braves have now moved right upon the heels of the Dodgers, only 5 percentage points behind them. Now in the National League, the Phillies tightened their hold on first place by knocking off the Giants 7-1 behind Kurt Simmons. At the end of 7.5 innings, the Chicago Cubs at Chicago leading the Pittsburgh Pirates 4-3. Cincinnati plays at St. Louis tonight. In the American League, end of 3.5 innings, it's the Yankees 5 and the Athletics nothing. At the end of 8 innings, the Boston Red Sox 5 and the Washington Senators 4. Washington's at bat in the 9th inning. Cleveland and Chicago are tied at 2-2 with the Indians at home and at bat in the 8th inning. And the Thrashers just come in. The Clark in the 8th inning has hit a home run for Cleveland, so the Indians go out ahead for the first time this afternoon. Garver and Trucks are the starting pitchers, St. Louis at Detroit. Well, friends, that's it. Once again, the Braves 12 and the Dodgers 2. So, as far as the New York folks are concerned, Connie Desmond, Vince Scully, and the old redhead will be back tomorrow afternoon. And as far as you folks on the network are concerned, why, we got a date with you when the Pittsburgh Pirates are going to be here this next Saturday. Coming up. And it's been fun bringing you this one for Post Cereals, and we hope you enjoyed it. And if you have, remember that you say thanks every time you bring home a package of any one of the famous Post Cereals. Post Toasters, Post Grape Nuts and Grape Nuts Flakes, Post Raisin Bran, 40% Bran Flakes, or Post Hens. Say, if you're one of the folks who haven't tried Post Sugar Crisp yet, you just be sure to look for the cellophane bag with the 3 little bears today. now this is the old redhead, Red Barber, saying so long.